Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a kind of fun show for you. Well, it'll be fun for some. If you're an Alabama fan, it's not going to be so much fun. And a lot of the Alabama fans are in shock. And it's time to answer the question, is the kingdom falling? Now, Alabama's been in charge of the SEC for a long time. They ran the show for almost 15 years. Last couple of years, Georgia's kind of taken that reign away. But I thought Alabama would come back this year angry. Now, they don't have Bryce Young anymore. Probably the best quarterback. Well, for them, it's hard to say the best quarterback they've had in a long time because they've had a run of great quarterbacks. I mean, ridiculously good. Most of them are in the NFL now, doing well. But currently, they've got a QB issue. They had fired their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. I mean, chucked them both after having a 2-loss season. And that's Tommy Rees and Kevin Steele, who they brought in, which not terribly impressive hires in my opinion. They're fine coaches, but, you know, they're not cream of the crop, which is what Saban's used to getting. So he's got 3 issues down there. And Texas kind of had their way at Alabama's home stadium, which nobody beats them there. It's been forever since anybody beat them. And Texas didn't have any trouble at all with them. It was really very surprising. I expected them to be the dominant team, but Texas has got athletes too, and they had a better quarterback, and that was the difference. Now, one of the things that I enjoy about YouTube are regular guys that are on YouTube and usually get great reactions after a loss, and they'll also kind of tell you how it is. And you get real talk, and it's very authentic, and it's fun. And I'm going to feature a couple of YouTubers here that I think are very entertaining, and they're authentic as can be. And this first guy has a ton of subscribers, and I've featured him a couple times before, and that's Matt Be Great. And he had a very interesting reaction to the loss to Texas at 1 a.m.
Watch this video all the way through. I'm going to show you guys how to throw an actual football. And there them bushes, that's the end of my driveway. I'll go right there and do it. If I miss, I literally hit the camera. Y'all better see a rope right here, son. Down by 3, need a tutty to win. Just like 7th grade PE class. Holy crap, this is pretty far. This might be 30 yards. Hit. No cuts. Bro, you can't make this up.
All right. Now, how many of us have taken a football when a quarterback's struggling and said, I could have made that throw, I could have done this? Well, it's easy to do that when you don't have a 300-pound guy about to knock you down and some 4'4" cornerbacks that are floating around and linebackers that are ready to jump in front of that pass and smack it down or intercept it. But we've all been there, all done that. And that's 1 a.m., so I can totally relate to that. But here he is the day after. And if you'll always remember, the day after is when it kind of hits you. It sinks in, oh no, our team's not as good as we thought they were. And I kind of had that day Sunday myself after we struggled with Austin Peay. And our quarterback was not what I expected him to be. I was very disappointed. And I understand how he feels. It's tough. Hopefully our guy, Joe Milton, can get it turned around. We'll find out because we're heading down to Florida. Woo! Man, the swamp at 7 o'clock at night. Going to get a little rough down there. But that's going to be the pressure cooker of all time. And we'll see how Joe performs. But let's get back to Alabama. And this is the day after for an Alabama fan.
And out there that deals with losses and you're not used to them, because I'll just be honest, as Alabama fans, we're spoiled. I'm spoiled. I'm not used to losing. I'll get to that in just a second. But for me, the day of the game when we lose, so yesterday, on Saturdays, whenever we lose, it doesn't really hurt me too bad. It doesn't hit me. That's the thing. It doesn't hit me right after the game. And it doesn't even hit me hours after the game. It always hits me on Sunday, around Sunday at like 4, 5, 6 o'clock. I don't know what it is. It just normally takes, I guess you could say it takes 24 hours for me to feel the effects of it. Honestly, what I said in the live reaction, I thought about it this morning, I was like, nah, I'm pretty content with that. I think I hit the nail on the head, or yeah, that's how that saying goes, something like that. But here's the one thing, man, I hate to even say this about it. It does make me sad. I'm not about to cry. Did you think I was about to cry? I'm not about to cry. It's just, it's like, man, reality is starting to set in with me, man. Ever since I could start keeping up with this amazing game we call college football, I was 7 years old. That's when I could really start understanding what's going on, really watching the games, investing in it, and ever since then, been a big-time college football fan. When I was 7 years old, that was 2007. I'm currently 23 years old, 2000. So every single year, if it's 2020, I'm 20. 2021, 21 years old. It's currently 2023. Well, guess what? I'm 23 years old. So essentially speaking, I started watching college football, really, paying attention in 2007. 2007, Saban gets there. So that means, you're probably following me on this, ever since I've started keeping up with college football, all I've known is Alabama's the best. That's all I've known. Ever since. I haven't lived a single year that I've kept up with the sport where Alabama hasn't been the best. And it hasn't even been close. Last night was the first night I've ever watched an Alabama football game, and I genuinely felt like we were not the better team. Last night, there's not even a shadow of a doubt in my mind that Texas was way better than us. Not even close. They was better on offense, defense, everything. They was the better football team. Better football team. And you can even take away the 2 interceptions from Milroe. I still believe Texas was the better ball team in ball club. Queen. We're no longer the unequivalent, undisputed top team in the nation. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a really good team. But the days of, at least for me as a Bama fan, feeling like we're better than every single opponent we play and we should win every single day is coming to an end.
All right. Well, I watched that game as well, and there's just too much change that's happened with college football that he can't keep all those dominant players. They transfer out. You know, you can't stack 4- and 5-star one after another and keep them there till they're a 5th-year senior or 6-year senior or whatever. It doesn't work that way anymore. If they're not getting to play, they're gone. They're out of here. So that's a big part of this is the transfer portal, the NIL. You've got other teams they can get some of these recruits. And even though he had a great recruiting class last year, he had a ton of guys transfer out that would have been on the field. So the game's changing. There's going to be more parity. NIL and the transfer portal causes more parity, and you're going to have less dominant teams. That's good for football. It just is. And it's starting to dawn on Alabama fans that that's the case. And you can see it. And I'm going to show you another fella. This is another guy that's super authentic. I like to watch his stuff, Kangaroo Black, because he's entertaining and he'll just tell you exactly what he thinks. And he will talk smack and he'll risk it. You know, he'll risk the wrath if it doesn't pan out the way he wants it to. But I like that. You know, there's nothing wrong with talking a little smack.
If, I came out and talked about your team, last week, this week, I sincerely apologize. Tennessee Volunteers, Josh Heupel, after week 8, after you leave Bryant-Denny Stadium, Alabama, my Alabama Crimson Tide, will be 8-0. We'll be 8-0. And all you Tennessee fans can shut the hell up talking crazy about, we beat y'all. We beat y'all. We scored 52. Y'all can shut the hell up because you damn sure won't do that shit in Bryant-Denny Stadium. And you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to have a loss.
Yep, he was pretty confident about that 8-0. But again, you know what? I can't hardly blame him. If I'd had Coach Saban for the last 15 years, it's pretty easy to believe you're going to be 8-0. But he obviously enjoys talking that smack, and he's not feeling so good about it today.
Handle us, man. They manhandle us. I mean, we got outplayed. They out physical to us. We got out coached. I mean, everything. Everything. We was in the L column and everything. The penalties came back to bite us again. We had 10 penalties in this game. Oh, my goodness. I, for one, as an Alabama fan, thought we had something that we didn't have. I ain't going to go through naming everything, but I thought we had a lot that we didn't have. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, it's all season. Murder ball, murder ball, murder ball, murder ball. Yeah, you got your ass murdered tonight. Yeah, I know y'all fans or fans of other fan bases thought I was going to come on here making all kind of excuses. Ain't no excuses to make.
Yeah, I think it's becoming pretty clear that Alabama is not going to be the dominant force in the SEC for the foreseeable future. Now, they could change that in the transfer portal and find some superstar quarterback, and that could help put them back in, a good position for next year. But they're going to struggle this year. They don't have the quarterback situation squared away. Jalen Milroe is a fine runner, but he's not that good of a pocket passer, and he made 2 terrible interceptions last night that changed the game. You cannot throw basically a pick six, and you can't cough the ball up like that. You just can't. And they're not used to that. When you got Bryce Young, he didn't make those mistakes. He did the opposite. So they're going to be struggling with that. Again, brand new coordinators. That causes all kinds of issue and consistency things. And then on top of it, you're having to play a lot of freshmen because a lot of guys transferred out. They may be 5 stars, but typically 5-star freshmen, true freshmen, they don't dominate because they're not big enough, they're not strong enough, they're not experienced enough. Now, there are exceptions, but it's kind of rare. And I don't want to talk too much smack after what happened with us with Austin Peay. Look, I thought we'd go in and handle Austin Peay with no trouble whatsoever. I thought it'd be easy.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, well, it was not easy. It was an inconvenience. Partly, Austin Peay played pretty good for them, but we just played poorly. Our offense just played poorly. It's just the way that it is. We're not the only ones that are kind of struggling today, even though we did win the game. It almost felt like a loss. But Bama's in a whole new world of hurt because they're spoiled rotten. And I understand why. When you've been the #1 team forever, that one guy, Matt Begreat's never known anything but that. So, reality's hit them, and the surrender cobra is very prevalent there right now. They're still going to be a very good team. They'll win 9-10 games. I think they're going to lose 2 or 3, though. They might even lose to us. We'll see if we get our quarterback situation squared away. Hopefully Joe can turn it around. But if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's remember to continue to cover the Vols and all our opponents in SEC and all that stuff. If you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit that little button right there. It's all you got to do. It's free. Poof. And all of a sudden, you start getting videos easier. And right over here is the most recent video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.